Hello everyone, Jordana here. I have this very janky setup. I have like a legit tripod, but then like I'm using my phone because I broke my camera in a very dumb way. Though you know what, that shouldn't stop me from making videos because I have my freaking iPhone. I'm here. We are in quarantine day, question mark. I put on some dry shampoo for you all, just enough to make me feel more presentable. I am here to talk a little bit about like how I came to this moment. I felt inspired to finally make a video after telling myself that I was going to make videos since I was a teenager. You might find another intro video here from like over a decade ago. You know what happens. Time just slips by. You don't even notice it. I realized that I needed to finally just do it and not hold myself back. There are a lot of reasons you can think of not doing something, and you will not do the thing if you let those reasons exist in your mind. And a lot of those things are originated by fear. Fear of what? That depends on the person, but for me, I knew that like I grew up very insecure about myself and my ideas and the way that I looked. As I've grown and have turned into a young adult, I realized that one, most people don't care that much about you, that they would be as anal and neurotic about the things that you think they think about. Two, nobody really knows what the fuck they're doing anyway. Can I say fuck on YouTube? I have no idea. I should probably read the terms. If so, I'll just bleep it out if I know how to do that. That's another thing, is that I felt very bogged down by the idea of having to edit, which I know how to do, but I have a full-time job. I also work creatively as an actor outside of my full-time job, so my time can be very limited, and I can enter these very gruesome, intense periods of time where I'm going straight from work to rehearsal and home and like making it home by midnight and then just doing it all over again. The thought of adding something else to my plate just overwhelmed me. I would always push it back and back. But now that we're in this quarantine time, I've used it to heal and confront a lot of my unresolved traumas that still exist but are in a much better place than they were before COVID. So that's kind of helped me get to a place where I feel better about myself. I started really thinking about how I want to use my time, who I want in my life, who do I want to pursue to be in my life, and friends, relationships, employers, all of those things, and really trying to reevaluate what brings me joy and a sense of fulfillment and how I can help others. I'm really swirling those values in my head constantly, trying to make sure that I am staying true to myself. Now I'm reaching to a point where I want to start creating more. I'm not the type of person, I shouldn't say that because that's encouraging your own like inner narrative and your narrative of others, I think. I'm like, that's another thing I'm learning, like self-healing. Just, I'm letting things flow and be and exist as they are, who I am in the moment with the given circumstances. Lately, I've started to accept the fact that I don't do very well with planned creativity. I cannot set a specific amount of time and say I am going to write in this time, or I'm going to create, or I'm going to paint. Sometimes I can, but for the most part it usually just happens as like a spur of the moment, which is why like I just threw myself together. When there is a deep desire inside of me, I just get carried into this task with the energy that's just inspired me. Then I'm gonna do it, because the desire to do something is a call to action, and if you ignore that desire, the call to action will disappear. It will get lost in the noise of everything else. I think my roommate's dog is outside my door, so I'm gonna bring her in because I feel like she would be nice. Okay, never mind. She was like in the hallway. I could hear her little pitter patters in the hallway, and she has like this big toy in her mouth, and she was in the hallway and she just like looked back at me, and I was like, Quinn, you want to come here? And she just looked at me again and then kept walking. Denied. What I was saying was that I create on the fly, and I've always had this perception, and I think it's been inspired by academia and the way that we're taught in school, which is another problem that I have because it, you know, it doesn't appeal to all different learning styles and abilities, and I think it can really make kids and young adults feel like they are insufficient or incapable when they cannot perform well or exceed in these structures and circumstances that they are given, that are given to them as an ideal structure. And so that creates a lot of inner turmoil, and I dealt with a lot of that. I realized that I think of things on the fly and I speak them as opposed to writing everything out. I'm a much better improviser. I just learned to trust my intuition and my gut and just speak from my heart in an honest way. And ultimately, I think that leads to better content. TBD. I don't go into these, I haven't gone into this with any particular direction of where I'm going, but mostly to kind of just prove to myself that I can take action and follow my heart in the moment and just do it. I will forever have Shia LaBeouf branded in my brain, yelling at me, telling me to just do it. Just do it! Don't let dreams be dreams! So I am channeling that in my inner soul and making this, which explains why I'm like very minimally dressed up, which, okay, I'm not a freaking beauty guru, so like, I don't know, I think this is okay. I don't think y'all have high expectations of the way that I look, though I know I look just fine. I look forward to creating more. I'm not really sure what direction my channel will go. I have covers of songs that I played on my guitar from a while ago. They're just there. I just kind of do what I want and what feels right in the moment, and whatever medium or form that takes on, I just embrace it and try to make the most of it, because I think having a desire for anything is a gift, and having a moment of clarity is really something special, to let it be what it wants to be. So I think as I continue on, I'm going to let the videos speak to me and let my channel kind of take shape of its own, and let the art guide me, and I'll kind of just follow suit and go with it and just see how I feel about it. We're in a very tough place in the world, and tough in the best way possible, but also in the worst way that it even exists. We are at a turning point, and especially in America, we have to do work on ourselves and with each other, with our loved ones, and with strangers. Have compassion and educate as much as we can, as much as you want. Black Lives Matter. Sign petitions to incarcerate these police officers who have committed crimes, and donate your money if you have it. If not, donate your time. Share, spread the word. Make sure you are sharing content that will elevate the voices of those that have been oppressed. One of the things that I've learned about myself and what helps me be able to get things done is to remove as many obstacles as possible and to not think too much about it. If I have the urge to do something, but I'm not quite like inspired and propelled to do it, I need to do one little thing in support of it that I can see that will then manifest the full idea itself. So like, I wasn't really ready to shoot, but I knew that I wanted to record something soon. And I hadn't taken my tripod out of its box. A tripod that I bought like a really long time ago. You know what? It might have even been like, I got the camera like a year ago, and then it broke, and then I got discouraged, and finally I was like, you know what? I'm gonna whip this tripod out and commit to it. And just seeing the tripod out made it feel more real in my head. So that was enough to get me to get things rolling. This is just kind of like a sneak peek into me, of me, about me. Let's list all of the prepositions I can think of right now. Not into me, because that would be weird. A sneak peek into me. I can just imagine those like cameras like going inside, like up my nose, up other orifices. Let's think about our non-hidden orifices. So like my eyeballs. I don't know where this is going anymore. I remember when I was 13 or 14, I was like, I should be on Disney Channel by now. I should have like an agent, or I should have been discovered, or like I'm behind. I was like 13. I was 13 and I already thought I was behind. And I think that's the mentality that's like held me back for so long, that I think a lot of people have. There's like this constant comparison of like, oh, like these other people who are like my age or younger who are doing all these like amazing things. And like, I'm here like being a blob. There are these constant comparisons, and it's so unfair because we are all dealing with our own unique shit. Some of that shit can be really bad, and it takes a lot of time to process and heal, and all of that has to happen before I think you can get to a place where you can really embrace and feel comfortable and confident with yourself and your work. And like, I'm not even there yet. This is a part of the process. I don't even know if there's actually a time where you achieve that. All I know is that I'm looking at the people that I admire the most, that I love, and I am trying to emulate them and really figure out what sort of behavioral patterns they have and the way that they speak and talk about themselves and others and other work, and really observing and understanding like, this is like a mentality, a way of living that promotes this energy and this action and this flow of love and openness and care and awareness and boundary setting, and it's a constant practice, and we're all bound to fail now and then. It's not a perfect trajectory upward. It's more like here, and just like the stock market where coronavirus was like boom, like sometimes you'll have that, and that doesn't undo all the work that you had done before. It just means you got to a really low dip, and you have to really fall back on the support systems that you've put in place to get yourself back out. And when those support systems and structures aren't in place, it's very hard to get out. And that's where we engage in more toxic behaviors and hang on to people or ideas and substances like alcohol and drugs and bad relationships. It can be a lot more nuanced, like not keeping promises to yourself or overworking yourself, projecting onto others and down talking yourself, like lowering your own confidence, self-esteem with automatic negative thoughts. This is the work that I've been doing lately, and I'm really happy. I have a therapist who helps me through that. Finally, I have a therapist. A therapist is what I said. It took so long to get one again as an adult. It was long overdue, and just do it. If you're thinking about it, like, I know it's hard if you don't have insurance. There are other resources like groups, sliding scales. Always ask about sliding scales. It took a long time to find a therapist that was in my network, one that I liked. And she ended up being a woman of color, Latina. She's actually Mexican, and I'm Mexican too. And I just lucked out with that. And I wish that we could be seeing each other in person, but virtually is way better than nothing. So I'm doing the work, and here I am. So thank you so much for watching. I'm definitely not gonna ask you to like subscribe. What do other YouTubers say? They say like, click on the little bell. I have this like weird idea that I need to do those things and be like, hey y'all, hey guys, Jordana here. So glad that you tuned in. But I'm also kind of like, I'm not a YouTuber yet. I mean, what is that? No, like, you know, your YouTubers. You got like, one of my favorite YouTubers is Rumi Official and like Brad Mondo. And I mean, there are a bunch out there. Anyway, sidetrack. I'm not gonna do that because I literally don't have much content, if any recent content. So like, yeah, you can check out my old videos, but also let me prove to you that you should watch my stuff. Like, I'm not gonna ask you right now. Oh. So yeah, thank you so much. Bye. Something else I also forgot to mention, going back to the obstacles and limiting, getting rid of as many obstacles as you can to get you to actually do something. Another thing that was like holding me back is this thought that I needed to have the perfect setup and the perfect camera and the knowledge and expertise for editing and all this stuff, and that I needed to be like this fully developed YouTuber, which in reality, like, anyone who starts out is starting with whatever they have. And that's like, I've applied that to a lot of things too, and it's just mind-boggling how like sometimes we create these extra barriers and obstacles for ourselves. That'll come in time. Nothing has to be perfect. Nothing ever is. There is no such thing as perfection. Perfection is what you believe it is in your heart. I sound so cheesy, but it's true. It's true. What a life, what a life, what a wonderful life. I actually sing, so I don't take that as a true testament to my singing. Nothing will be perfect. That's all I wanted to get to. Okay, bye.